Mridangaya Namo Namaha. Alright, Hare Krishna everyone. A lot of stuff to get through as usual today. Last time we were working in low for taal and looking at Teke Take, Tere, keta, and kenetake, tereketa. So today we're going to look at the original versions of that are given by Bablu Das. Then we're going to look at some extended versions that you can use as Tehais. A couple extra techniques with that. And then I've written those same mantras myself to fit low for taal, which will help you to continue to practice your hand and learn the Tehai structure in low for taal, at least one of them. And and then just continue to build your repertoire using just tereketa and kenetake tereketa and Teketake tereketa. So, first mantra for today is tereketa, tereketa, tere, tere, tereketa. So we'll start with that, and then there's a second part. Tereketa, tereketa, tere, tere, tereketa. 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 So then the second part of that is Teketake, tereketa, kenetake, tereketa. Originally that's taught keta take tereketa, keta take tereketa. But this is a re or a ne if you're coming after a gay. So this is gay ne, kene. So here we're going teke take, tereketa. And then instead of keta, we're going kene take, tereketa. Just to streamline the phrasing of things so that you can read any of the mantras that I present, no matter how advanced they are. You always know what something's going to be. You don't have to know a whole different bunch of terminology and things that don't always make sense in the context of playing a mantra. Tereketa, tereketa, tere, tere, tereketa. First part. Teke take, tereketa, kenetake, tereketa. Remember this part, we're working on this technique of this open hit. Kene take, kene take, kene take, tereketa, kene take, tereketa. Teke take, tereketa, kene take, tereketa. Take, tere. Krsna, hare Krsna, Krsna Krsna, hare Hare. Now the whole mantra. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And so that one you want to, work up to faster speeds, just like all the mantras, becoming comfortable with them, being able to play them at least a double speed, or as I showed on the metronome, trying to get up to a 160 speed. So you just start slow and then just keep building up, or use your metronome or however you want to practice. emphasis. You don't have to, but it's nice in kirtan sometimes. You can go. So you can emphasize that first Teke Take, or you can play. But even then, you're still, it has an emphasis of that ta, but you can accentuate it if you want. I wouldn't get too crazy with it or do it every time. But you learn to accentuate it when we break it down more. We go into so it becomes a little bit of a little bit of emphasis. So that little offbeat. So then the next mantra, building off of that one, is then learning to utilize the different parts of that so that you can use it in a longer, more interesting mantra. And I try to write everything so it fits either from Hare Krishna to Hare, Rama, or I guess, the full 32, or I just write them so that they fit like a normal Tehai from Hare Rama to the end. So, and you can combine these two. So this is showing two, 16 mantra Tehais, but you could combine them. Start playing one at Hare Krishna, start playing the second at Hare Rama. Doesn't really matter. So this is going to go like this. Teke Take, Tere, keta, Teketake, Tere, keta. So we know that, and you're going to play it twice, and you'll see the mantra in the description. Then you're just going to go Teke Take, Tere, keta. Play that twice. Then Ketake, tereketa. I'm going to play that twice. Then Teketake, tereketa. Breaking that up. Play that once. Then Ketake, keta. So this is giving you a cool mantra. It's also acting as a Tehai of sorts. And it is, helping you to practice your hands and learn to utilize each piece of a mantra. Most people just get, and that's all they play. They don't know to break it up. And the Teketake, Teketake, you have all these different pieces, or so this just adds a lot more flair to your Mridanga playing, and it helps you to also take these little pieces and combine them with other pieces from other mantras so that you've got more interesting mantras to play as well. So, one, two, wait, so we put that twice. Let's start again. One, two. So then you're going. So let's build off that again. So Teketake, tereketa. Then Teketake, tereketa. Then Teketake, tereketa. Then Teketake. So that's the whole mantra. It's going to make more sense when I send Hare Krishna to it. You'll be able to see how it fits. Let's see. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And that's how it fits Hare Krishna. I need like a little phone holder for up here. So we'll do it again. Hare Krishna, slower. Hare Krishna. That's not gonna work. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. You have to make sure when you're playing slower that you don't sing. You don't notice it, but you're singing double speed. I started there where you're like Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And it will compress your singing, and your mantra won't fit properly. So you have to know how to kind of phrase Hare Krishna so it fits nicely. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Give it enough spacing when you're practicing. Now sometimes you can sing double speed and then you'll get half your mantra in. So I'll do that once more. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So, let's see here. So that's how you want to play that mantra. Not that so much to say about this. I mean, we've covered a lot of the things now. It's just kind of giving the little bit more complex mantras for these. We've already covered how to play tereketa. I've covered the open hits and all these types of things. The next class will be more intense because then we have to start covering a different technique. So then that will take a little bit more explaining. So this is a different technique now of Teketake tereketa. We're introducing a new hit here. So when you play K, 4 fingers and thumb closed on the end, K, and ta, then becomes K-H-A, ka, ka, K, ta. So we've learned Tere, keta, and we've learned kene. I think that's it. And now we're learning K and ta together, which is ka. Ka, ka. Teke Take, tereketa. So this is going to be more interesting, a little bit more powerful for mantra than playing the one before, and just introduces a new technique of kind of splitting things up and giving a little bit of space, a little bit more emphasis. Teke Take, tereketa, Teke Take, tereketa, Teke Take, tereketa, ka, ka. That's the first part. Ketake, tereketa, Ketake, tereketa. So we're just practicing our hands again by adding a little bit more flair. So we're just practicing now breaking up Teke Take, tereketa 3 times with a ka, ka. Teke Take, tereketa. So this will fit your little from Harirama onwards, so that you can play your regular beat Hare Krishna and then break into this in double speed if you like. So let's play it again. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna some different ways that you can use that mantra. I switched it up a couple times there. It wasn't exactly the same at the end, but once you get more comfortable, if you don't remember exactly what you're supposed to do, your hands know the jatis that you're playing in and the style, and you'll play a kenetake tereketa instead of a teketake tereketa, or you play it twice or something like that. And it doesn't really matter. Once you get the feel of the taal, you get a lot more comfortable with these things. These mantras aren't set in stone. You could write this 100 different ways. This is just one version, and I definitely would impress upon you to try to take these and look at them and look at the structure and be like, hey, like we could totally write it like this, or we could do more of those pieces there, or do it like that. I mean, there's really no right or wrong answer, essentially. Wondering if we should do this as well. Alright, we'll do this mantra and then we'll move into low for taal in the same. So this is Tere, keta, Tere, keta, Tere, 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 keta, Teketake, tereketa, Teketake, tereketa. Same mantra that we just learned. Now we're building upon it with a different technique on the back end. Keta, tereketa, tereketa, tereketa. So this is kene, keta, and then tereketa, keta, tak, tereketa. So this is a new bowl again. So we learned ke and ta for ka. Now we're learning 4 fingers instead of tere. Now when you have this for emphasis, so before I was teaching to play tereketa softly, and now this te, when it becomes tak, tak, then it becomes strong, tak, tereketa, tak, rather than tereketa, 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 te, tereketa, tak, tereketa, te, soft, tereketa, tak. So it's just a stronger te. So the whole mantra is tereketa, tereketa, teretere, tereketa, teketake, tereketa, kenetake, tereketa, kenetake, tereketa, 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 tak, tereketa. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I wasn't going to teach this one today, so I didn't go over it. But these are a little changed from Bablu's, so that's why I pause and stuff. I haven't fully switched over because I've learned variations of these out of taal and for 10 years, so your hands kind of want to follow something that you've remembered before. I'm trying to reprogram everything now. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. So that's a cool mantra. Go over it once more. Tereketa, tereketa, tere, tere, tereketa, Teketake, tereketa. nice mantra that you can use, or the whole part, just that second part. And you got 3 tereketas that you get to practice as well, so it's nice, and it's just got a nice flow. So Hare it's a nice mantra. So let's switch into Lo-Fa-Tal now. So all of that before was okay. Well, actually, I wanted to show one thing here. I didn't even write it down, but so that's all in Catur Jati. We've got 2s and 4s, nothing out of the ordinary. We're in Pahira taal, so 4/4 time. And then I wanted to show one version of this. I'll come up with more later, but just so you have something to practice. So that I'm trying to bring everything up together at the same time. So now we'll look at a quick Catur Jati of Teketake tereketa, and that will be in Pahira as well. Teke Take, tereketa, tereketa, ketake, tere. Teke Take, tereketa, tereketa, ketake, tere. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Teke Take, tereketa, tereketa, ketake, tereketa, tereketa, ketake, tereketa. I've never actually practiced this one before, but I just thought about this today because I'm trying to figure out more. I want to try to show Catur Jati and Catur Jati, and try to show them in taal, in structure for Pahira taal and Lo-Fa-Tal. So I'm going to practice this for them. Teke Take, tereketa, tereketa, ketake, tereketa. That's cool. Little unusual feel to it. I mean, I probably wouldn't use that in kirtan, but we want to harness the power of all these mantras and really hammer down the concepts of what Catur Jati is, what a Catur Jati is, what the different Jati structures are, and what the taal structures are, so that we, as we grow, we really understand what those mean. So Teke Take, tereketa, tereketa, ketake, tereketa. Teke Take, tereketa, tereketa, ketake, tereketa, tereketa, ketake, tereketa, tereketa, ketake, tereketa, tereketa, ketake, tereketa, tereketa, ketake. Cool little hand practice. Why not? Okay, so into Lo-Fa-Tal. We covered those already. So I'm going to try to show the same things that we just learned in Catur Jati in Pahira taal. Now we're going to learn them in Catur Jati in Lo-Fa-Tal. I haven't practiced these so much, so these are definitely harder for me because I'm building on Lo-Fa-Tal myself, because very few teachers seem to give any information on this particular taal. But it's not difficult, it's just I haven't played them for 10 years. So they're not like stuck in my hands as well. We went over that one. Okay. did that one. So this is the ka version. I believe last time we already went over some of the Teketake tereketa stuff in low for tall, but I didn't have the ka formed and written yet. So this is Teketake tereketa ka ketake tereketa to make 6. Teketake tereketa ka ketake tereketa 6. Teketake tereketa ka ketake tereketa it sounds fundamental, but I mean, it actually, when you sing to it and you play, it's super cool, and no one plays like this or knows these structures. So it's just going to give you so much strength as you grow and learn all these systems and more bowls and techniques. And the 2 taals are going to be so easy for you. Like, I know I've struggled for so long to understand, and so many people understand a little, don't understand any, and just follow, kind of whatever simple stuff that we have in ISKCON. But this is just really opening up a whole different world of Mridanga playing here, and is really, enlivening me, having this, all these different patterns to play now, and just really feeling like I'm harnessing, the power of low for tall. Whereas before, I just really didn't have a good grasp of the structure whatsoever, and didn't have many mantras that fit, and my teachers didn't give anything that was in tall too much. So it was, it was definitely a struggle. So I'm super excited to be learning this, basically at the same time that you guys are, and just feeling really blessed and happy, and so thankful to Bhima Karma and Bablu Prabhu and so many other people that have helped me along the way. And Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Very cool. So we'll do it again. Hare Krishna. A little hard to do it. This is the double speed mantra, so I wouldn't try to practice it in single speed per se. I mean, you can practice it slower, but trying to practice it really slow is just going to be kind of painful. So we'll keep it at a little faster speed. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Teke Take tereketa kenetake tereketa Teke. Wait. Teke Take tereketa kenetake tereketa Teketake tereketa kenetake Teketake tereketa tereketa kenetake tereketa tereketa. Simple structure, but very powerful and super fun to play. And it's nice to have those kas and emphasis, and just really enlivening. So then the next mantra here. So then I decided, let's look at a different pattern of that, because no one's ever given me this pattern before. So then I was like, okay, well, let's do, because before we had Teketake tereketa, 1, 2, Teketake tereketa, and then 2 kas. Now we're doing Teketake tereketa to bring back the pattern of what we had before, Teketake tereketa. So now we have 3, and then the kas are in a different spot, totally different feel. How does it feel? I tested it out. I thought it was nice. So again, like I said, you can take these mantras and write them really any way that you want, as long as you're following the sampradaya and the technique, the bowls, the jatis, and the taal. Then you're all good, and the Tehai structures and everything. Teke Take. So now we're learning this technique. Teke Take, tereketa, ka, tereketa. Kenetake, tereketa, ka. This one's harder. And then I threw in the Tehai at the end so that we reinforce that Tehai structure again that we were looking at before. So let's look at this. Hare Krishna. No, that's 4/4. I'm singing. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Go over that once more because I think I was playing something else in the middle for that second part. Yeah, this one's supposed to be Ketake, tereketa. Teke Take, tereketa, ka. Ketake, once more. Teke Take, ka, tereketa, ka, tereketa, ja, do, tereketa, ja, do, tereketa. So you can do a cut there as well. So I'll show that. Teke Take, ka, tereketa, ka, tereketa, ja, tereketa, ja, tereketa. So that's cool as well. We'll go over this once more. Tereketa. That's the next one. Teke Take, tereketa. Kenetake, tereketa. So those are the patterns, and then we got to get the kas in there. Teke Take, tereketa, ka, tereketa, kenetake, tereketa, ka, tereketa, ja, tereketa, ja, tereketa. And there is another one here as well that I've written. Let's see what this is. So, okay, so this is now looking at that last form that I showed in Das Pahira and Catur Jati, where we're learning that kene, Teketake. And we've got the triple tereketas in here, so everything's here. Plus, we've got a different Tehai. Why not? Let's learn more Tehais as well. Tereketa, Teke Take, tereketa, tereketa. Tereketa, Teke Take, tereketa for 6. Catur Jati, low for tall. Kenetake Tere, second part. Kenetake tereketa, tereketa, kenetake, dak tereketa. Kenetake tereketa, kenetake, tak tereketa. So that's 6. Kenetake tereketa, kenetake, tak tereketa. Kenetake, tak ja, do, kenetake, tak ja, do, kenetake. So this, I mean, Mridanga is like, I know this is like a lot of stuff, but I mean, when I learned, they just gave tereketa, tereketa, Teke Take, tereketa, kenetake, tereketa, and I've taken that, and we've learned like an hour of material and 20 different mantras around that, and then different taals and jatis, and I think that's super important. And it might seem like, well, like this stuff is already getting advanced, and definitely with Mridanga, there's a lot of basics, but even the basics, they start off simple, and then all of a sudden a Mridanga becomes difficult. Like there isn't like a big arc in Mridanga. There's very simple, basic stuff, and then it just starts to get more and more difficult, and a lot of it requires you to have some proficiency in tereketa and these basics that I'm giving. And if you don't spend the time, and most people think that it's irrelevant, you don't need to, but if you don't spend the time practicing the system as I'm giving it, learning your bowls, especially your tereketas and these open hits, then you really don't have a chance of ever really playing Mridanga. You know, like you'll play Mridanga and people will think it's fire, and you're playing with your fingers, you're playing really loud, and you're playing stuff. But if you really break it down, it's pretty basic, and there's not really a lot happening relative to what you can do with Mridanga and the taal structures, which I'll continue to explain, and just how, you know, how intricate everything gets, and, you know, all the little fine details and stuff. So I know this is a lot of information, and it definitely seems like it's getting, you know, advanced quickly. And it is, and that's just a fact of Mridanga. Like, it's not an easy instrument, and there's just no easy route. Like, you have to go through it like this, else you're not able to really get, you know, all the fruits. And, you know, a lot of people aren't interested in that, and that's fine. But for those few people that are, I'm trying to, you know, do my best to give a system so that if anyone's really interested and really wants to learn properly, then I'm hoping that then this will help them on their path, you know, and they don't have to spend money on it, and it's free. And yeah, it's just my little offering for my Krishna consciousness to you know, to whoever wants to take it. So let's go over this again. Tereketa, tereketa, tereketa. Teke Take, tereketa. Kenetake, tereketa, tereketa, kenetake, talk tereketa. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. So that's how it fits. We'll start from Hare Rama and try to get the Tehai in there for you. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So that's if you're playing. So now I'm singing there in double speed, which I said not to do, but it's hard sometimes not to. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Gotta get this right. Kenetake, not tereketa. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Once more. I just wrote that last night, so that's why it's a little rough, but I'm trying to practice as much as I can so that I can give this knowledge to you guys. But it is difficult, so I'm learning kind of at the same time. But that's really cool. So we'll go over the Tehai once more. Kene Take, keta tak ja. Kene Take, keta tak. So in Catur Jati, we're working in fours here. Kene Take, keta tak. And there's a space at the end of tak, which I need to add there. Kenetake talk. Usually if you have 2 hits like Teke Take, we're hitting it 4 times. Now we're going kenetake 4 times, keta 1, talk. So the tuck will hold those 2 quarter notes, you know, or 8th notes if you're playing in double speed. Keta talk, Tehai. Keta talk, jaw 1 2. Keta talk, jaw 1 2. Keta talk. Rama Rama Hare. Rama Rama Hare Hare. Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna. It is hard to do this without the cartels. L'Ofretal's is a little bit more difficult to sing for me all the time without the cartels. When you hear the cartels, it's a lot easier. Keta talk, jaw like do. Keta talk, jaw like do. Keta talk, keta talk, jaw like do. 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 Alright, we'll leave it at that. I'll try to write all this stuff out nicely and give it in the description for you guys. And please forgive me for not being as proficient at all these as I should be, but I just don't have the time. I run 2 businesses at the moment, and I'm writing all this stuff, trying to find time to practice, make the videos and everything. So it is what it is, but hopefully you guys can make something of it. Hare Krishna.